Welcome to Online Issues 2. Today's notes are going to cover the 12 performance characteristics of winning people. You should see in your iVisit screen a picture of a horse with 3 C's on the back with a sword sticking through it. Again, the meaning of the 12 performance characteristics we're going to go through today. So number 1 is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. So what Ed Foreman is saying in the notes is that winning people in all areas of life stay away from criticizing, condemning, and complaining every idea that they see, and in that way they keep a positive mental attitude. So it's very important. Number 1 again, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Next, on to number 2. The word for number 2 was zoo. The picture was the monkeys, and the unrelated item was the roses passing back and forth. And the meaning of that, when you give someone flowers or roses, you're saying that I love you or appreciation. So the answer for number 2 is to show appreciation for the people that are around you. Too often we take for granted the most important people in our lives, and we might say things to our best friends that we'd never say to our worst enemies. And too often simply your parents or your brothers or sisters or sometimes your best friends, we forget about them and take them for granted. So winning people don't do that. They find a way day after day to show appreciation for the people that are closest and most important to them. On to number 3. The word for 3 was tree. The picture was of branches bending over, and the unrelated item was the statue of the thinker. Ed Foreman used the example of the sculptor Rodin, and he had a famous sculpture entitled The Thinker. You may have seen it if there's a sculpture with a guy with a leg crossed and his chin in his hand, bent over. That is the statue of the thinker. And the answer for that one is it reminds us to think positive thoughts about yourself and others. And put a star by that. A lot of people missed this one on their quiz, which will be next week. The meaning for that, think positive thoughts about yourself and about other people. You have to have both parts to that. So I think often positive thoughts about other people is an easy one, but too often times thinking positive thoughts about ourselves can be even more difficult. So you need to, what I call, have an image in your mind and keep those positive, or keep your self-talk positive so you're not constantly putting yourself down. The word for number 4 was door, and the picture was of a revolving door, and the unrelated item was a billboard that says benefit ball, benefit ball, benefit ball. And the answer for that one is to give before you get. Give before you get. Or if you want to put a win-win situation down for that, it means the same thing. I'll give you credit for either one. So what you're looking for is that winning people find a way to help them and the person they're working with get something out of every situation, which would again be a win-win situation. Example of that, if you just get your driver's license and you head home, talk to your mom or dad and say, give me 20 bucks and the keys, I'm going to the movie. You don't even give yourself a chance. Most parents are going to turn you down flat. So a win-win situation, a good example for that would be, instead of asking for or demanding the keys, you might tell your dad, if there was a way you could get the car back tomorrow in the driveway, spick and span, clean as the day it came off the showroom floor, you'd probably want to know how to do that, right? Then at least you have your attention of the person that you're talking to. So if you phrase it that way, and then you tell your dad, if there was a way that you could borrow me the car and a few dollars to go to the movie, my friends and I will vacuum the car out, we'll wash it inside and out, and it'll be clean as new in the driveway tomorrow. Then at least you give yourself a chance when you set up that kind of a win-win situation. That's number 4, benefit ball. Number 5, the word for number 5 is hive, and the picture is a beehive, and the unrelated item is a Cheshire cat. And if you think back to your childhood when you were watching Alice in Wonderland, if you've seen that movie, the Cheshire cat is that striped cat, and it always has a huge smile on its face. So the answer for number 5, beehive, and the Cheshire cat is to smile more. Okay, think about it as smile therapy. I always challenge my classes, my regular health classes, that for one period between classes, to put on a smile for 5 minutes, just the most ridiculous grin, and walk from passing time from 1 hour to the next. And I guarantee by the time you get to your next hour, you will feel better. The mind is very powerful that way. It's accepting to what your body tells it. And if you feel that way and you look that way, eventually you're going to have a better day and feel better about yourself. The smile simply says, I like me, I like the people around me, and it helps to get you through the day. So number 5, Beehive and smile therapy. On to number 6. The word for 6 was sick, as in throw up, sick. And the picture was a hospital bed. And the unrelated item is the name tag with a hypodermic needle sticking through it. And what you want to write for the answer for that is get to know the names of the people that you're surrounded with. Too often times there's people you're introduced to, and then 5 minutes later you have no idea what their name is. So you need to get to know and call the people that you're surrounded by their first name. Get to know their names, memorize those, and use those. Winning people in every aspect of life, find a way to get to know and use the names of the people that's surrounding them. A good tool for that is, instead of going up to someone and saying, I can't remember your name, which gives them a message that they weren't important enough for you to remember their name, what's a good tool to use is to simply throw out the first name you can think of. So you may go up and say, I want to say it's Mike, but I know it's not Mike. And if it's someone from class and their name is Charlie, they're going to say, no, it's not Mike, it's Charlie. And at least it takes you off the hook a little bit. You don't tell the person that I can't remember your name. You throw it out and you say, I think it's this, but I might be wrong. And 9 times out of 10, they're just going to give you what their first name is, and then you can start a conversation that way. So number 6, very important, get to know the names of the people you're surrounded with.